United States President Barack Obama entered the presidency 1 year ago amid sky-high approval ratings and great expectations for change. But Mr. Obama's first year in office has been challenging. The president's push for health care reform stoked fierce grassroots opposition, while his most loyal supporters expressed disappointment that he has not been able to do more. VOA's Jim Malone has more on Mr. Obama's political impact as he begins his second year in office.
Barack Obama made history in 2008 when he was elected the country's first African-American president. And right from the start, he promised more to come.
Because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America.
But delivering on that promise of change proved to be difficult in 2009. Mr. Obama led an effort to reform health care, struggled to fix a weak economy, and faced an escalating conflict in Afghanistan. By the end of his first year, there was a humanitarian crisis in Haiti and a renewed focus on national security after the failed terrorist attack aboard a U.S. jetliner on Christmas Day.
For ultimately, the buck stops with me. As president, I have a solemn responsibility to protect our nation and our people. And when the system fails, it is my responsibility.
Mr. Obama entered the presidency amid soaring public approval ratings. But the past year has taken a toll, and recent polls show Americans are about evenly split on his first year in office. This is Peter Brown of the Quinnipiac University Polling Institute.
They like Obama personally. They think he's trustworthy and honest. They think he's a strong leader. They say they don't necessarily agree with him on the issues they're most concerned about. They wish he would spend more time on the economy. They don't like the health care bill.
Passage of the health care bill in Congress could come soon, but the issue has stoked intense opposition among grassroots conservative activists, and that could help Republicans in the November midterm elections, says Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell.
I have great hope that enough Democrats are going to wake up and say we should not thumb our noses at the American people and cram this down their throats no matter what they think. It's an act of incredible arrogance.
The health care debate has already become a defining issue in Mr. Obama's presidency, says Matt Dalek of the Bipartisan Policy Center in Washington.
I think also health care reform, which has consumed so much of the energy of the first year. And it's really going to define, I think, how we see the first year. I think, assuming it passes, this is a historic achievement. And it will build, it will be one of the headlines in his legacy, potentially.
But some liberals are disappointed with Mr. Obama's compromises on health care and his decision to send 30,000 additional U.S. troops to Afghanistan. Civil rights leader Julian Bond says some Democrats simply expected too much from Barack Obama when he took office.
I mean, nobody could really expect that to happen. And nobody could really expect this guy who inherited 2 wars, who inherited a breakdown in the financial system, who inherited all of these problems to solve them like that. So I think it's a bit unrealistic.
1 year after his inauguration, Mr. Obama is now on the political defensive, facing a re-energized Republican Party and increasing doubts from independent voters who supported him in the election. Republicans won governor's races in 2009 in New Jersey and Virginia, and former Republican Party Chairman Ed Gillespie says that should be a warning for the president looking ahead to this year's congressional midterm election.
I think most significantly, independent voters moving to vote Republican by 2-to-1 margins, and that is significant, and I think that is probably the most telling harbinger for 2010 midterm elections.
Republicans are expected to gain congressional seats in November, and political analysts say that could hamper the president's ability to pass significant legislation through Congress over the next couple of years. Jim Malone, VOA News, Washington.
And for more information on these stories, go to voaafrica.com.